Welcome to You Are Your Name. In this season, we'll interview people who've balanced their names through the Kablerian philosophy sometime in the past. Every person is unique and will create different effects using a balanced name. The common thread is that these people have applied the mathematical principle as taught by the Kablerian philosophy by using a balanced name to become happier, healthier, and more successful. Why is the mathematical principle so significant? Because it's the basic law that creates the mathematical pattern of our mind. Its application by balancing our names is an important step to a fully balanced mind. A thorough understanding of the constructive and destructive qualities of mind, which are mathematical as well, are as important to develop our true individual path in life and evolve to express our conscious potential. Our guest today is Jocelan L. She is a long-term student of the Kablerian philosophy. She balanced her name many years ago. Currently, she's a senior instructor. Also, she is a course assistant for over 20 years. So that means she works with the people who enroll in the online training. She's an administrative volunteer at the office where she's worked on course development. She's also a professional singer for over 50 years. Welcome, Jocelan. Thank you for joining us to share some of your experiences with your balanced name.
Thank you, Dakin. Pleasure to be here.
So how long have you used the balanced name? How did you find the principle?
A long time ago, in 1966, my parents and my siblings went to visit one of my relatives, an uncle and aunt, who also had 4 boys. But I didn't go to this visit because I was in university at the time and I was studying for exams. So I didn't go. But when they came back from the visit, the family were quite astounded because one of my cousins has changed his name, not just his last name, but he changed his first name as well. And everyone thought this was quite strange and didn't quite know what it was all about. But my brother was quite intrigued. So he went to talk to my cousin, and my cousin explained to him that it was through the Kabbalion philosophy that he had changed his first and last name. He had a cousin who also changed his first and last name, down from family to my family. So that's how I first heard about it.
That's interesting. So you were in college and
Yes.
you got a name report and then you changed your name?
It was a bit of a longer process. I've worked with people in the office who phone into the Kabbalion office and they don't like any of the names on their list. So I was in that same predicament. I couldn't find a name that I liked and I kept putting it off. And my brother finally, he had already changed his name legally. And he came to me one day and he said, "When are you going to change your name?" And I said, "I couldn't find a name that I liked." So he said, "Let me see your list." And he went down the list and he said, "How about that one?" And I had completely not even seen that name and I loved it. And so I changed my name at that point. I didn't legally change it quite then because I think I was 20 and my next youngest sister was 18. And we had to wait until we were 19 years old to change our name legally. So I waited until the following February 1968. And she turned 19 and we both changed our names legally.
Oh, that's supporting your sister. That's very nice.
Yes. Yes, there's 4 siblings in my, counting myself, there's 4. And my parents eventually all changed their names to
Oh,
balance
okay.
name. But it
So
took a period of years.
sure. Now, what changes did you notice in, say, your brother, and how long did it take for you to
Well,
recognize?
my brother was always wondering about the broader mysteries of life. And when he became a student of the Kabbalion philosophy, he really changed. He changed physically, his appearance completely changed. Of course, in the philosophy, when you study the healthy living course, we teach a moderate vegetarian diet. And when he changed his diet, his whole body changed. It was just astounding. He was very sincere and followed the diet very accurately.
You say he changed. Did he look more vital, or what
Oh,
exactly
yes.
did he
Oh,
change?
yes. His skin was so clear. His eyes were bright. And they just looked so clear
Hmm.
and happy. I think it's the result of when you balance your name, you have this more free connection with your spark, with your birth path quality, your spark within that came with the first breath.
Mhm.
Had some of those comments made to me. And I remember my brother commenting to me about, he said, "You're different. You look different."
Mm.
I didn't think I did, but he said I did. So
So
that
you
was a
noticed changes in your health. Did you notice any changes in your thinking after you started to use the balanced
yes,
name?
yes. I changed my name legally after my second year of university. And so I started my third year with my balanced name. And I was in a tutorial once, and I had a very unexpressive name. And I was very shy and very hesitant, never put my hand up in class in school, never volunteered an answer. But when I was in this tutorial, the instructor wanted to ask for volunteers. I didn't put my hand up, but I wanted to. And that was a huge change to myself in my thinking. I just couldn't believe that I really wanted to put my hand up, but I was still too shy and I didn't do it. But it doesn't mean anything much to other people, maybe, but to me, it was a very significant change in my thinking.
And here you are now, a senior speaker in the Kevlar philosophy, and you give
Years
courses
have
and
changed.
singing, very expressive.
Yes.
So would you say that your confidence went up as well?
Oh, yes. Yes. My confidence just changed so much. I graduated just after my third year, and I wanted to go to another degree. And I wasn't qualified because I didn't have the experience that they required to enter this program. So I knew about the cycles. And after I graduated, I used my cycles and I got a job that was in the field that I needed to get into this new program. And I got the perfect job. I think I worked there for 9 or 10 months. And at the end of that period of time, I was recommended into the program.
Wow.
Yeah, so it just using the cycles at that part time in my life was just invaluable. It really helped me for the rest of my career to the present day, of course. I work with correspondence students all the time, and I have several students right now that are going through the cycle management course. You never lose that valuable knowledge that you've gained, and you use it in your life all the time.
One of the ideals of studentship is to develop a more universal perspective. And maybe you could give your understanding of how the mathematical principle of name is related to this universal perspective.
In the philosophy, we teach that the mathematical principle is the principle. It has so many ramifications in our lives. When we teach the courses, we teach the life analysis training and the relationship between mathematics and name, but it also manifests through time. So we teach the cycle management training course and through our health because every quality in our mathematical makeup is reflected in our body. You have positive and negative qualities to every number from 1 to 9. And each of those qualities is present in our makeup in to some degree. Now, without balanced names, they're mostly unbalanced, and so they express in discordant ways. And the Kabbalion philosophy unlocks those many secrets of how to create a more balanced life through your thinking, through your choices of foods, through your application of cycles to your life. There's the universal energies of life are expressing at all times through those mathematical qualities, through consciousness, through our thinking. And this is what we are. We are vehicles for consciousness. I was speaking to an acquaintance recently about diet, and she asked me why I was a vegetarian. Most people do it for health reasons, but I told her it's a spiritual practice. It's because our body is the temple of the spirit. And so we are trying to make our thinking as clear and as receptive as possible to those higher vibrations, the more positive aspects of the mathematical principle. It's all related, everything is interrelated.
A couple of things that come to mind. One is we've used a couple of words that may not be understood. One, you've used the word spark. So I guess the equivalent term for spark is our inner potential to develop consciousness. So that's the simple definition. But really, religion would call the spark the spirit, spiritual potential.
That's
So,
right.
so when you get a balanced name, you start to develop the expression of those balanced qualities. but you can never express the full potential of the balanced name until you overcome the challenges that were inherent in your original name. So let's say someone was named Peter, and it makes them very self-centered and dominant. So Peter balances his name, and then over time, he becomes less selfish and becomes more selfless. And he's not dominant, he's more understanding. In a sense, he's risen in his thinking above the old name, and now the new name has a fuller channel to express those qualities of reliability and responsibility and all of the qualities relative to a balanced name. So, what advice would you give someone who's considering a balanced name right now?
When I work in the Caballerian office, we get many people who change their names at some point in their lives and experience the benefits of it, but never really made any other changes, studying the principles, for instance. And other people have contacted the philosophy for previous years, some 20 years, and never changed their names. I would always say to people, don't wait. It's the best thing you could do for your life to give your spiritual potential a true and a happier, more contented, more successful, more stable expression through your mind, which is created by your name. And this is what your balanced name will do. It will create such a change. So many people say that they've changed their appearance, they changed their habits. You still are the person you are, and you never will be anything but the person that you are. But you'll be happier, you'll be healthier.
Any final comments you'd like to make relative to your balanced name?
I'm so grateful for the Caballerian philosophy and for my balanced name because I've had a very stable and successful career. Now I'm retired, but I'm very enthusiastic about the Caballerian philosophy, and I want to be involved as much as I possibly can and have been. The principles should be known and widely understood. It's not a fortune telling, it's not mysterious. It's very logical and down to earth, and it makes sense on so many levels. Every mind can really appreciate the logic of the principle. It's just mathematics. Everyone uses mathematics to measure. You go through engineering or architecture, you need mathematics to function in our life, in our society. But in the Caballerian philosophy, the mathematical principle is the qualitative side. It's not the quantity, it's the qualities. And the universal energies of life expressed through those 9 qualities, and they come through like white light does come through a prism, and then it breaks up into the colors of the rainbow. And that's why we see colors in our eyes can pick up those colors. But those colors are like the mathematical qualities that come through our brain cells, are like the prism that break those into individual qualities depending on the name that we were given. And this is our prism. And this is what we function through is that name. And so if we understand the positive qualities of mathematics, we understand the time of our birth, which creates our spiritual potential, as well as our thinking pattern that is created by our name. And so when you change that name, depending on the discordancy of the name, it's like the clouds are just lifting away, and you can see for the first time what life is really and what your potential really is. It's been so rewarding to find that there's so much more to life, to learn, to understand, to know, to share. It makes life worth living. I guess that's what I could say.
So, thank you for your participation. We really appreciate it. And I'm sure your insights will be valuable for the listeners.
We'd love everyone to find the balance in their life created by balanced name.
Besides the mathematical principle, Caballerian philosophy teaches the cyclic law so that people can understand the qualities of mind as they experience time. We use this law to be more effective in all our endeavors, physical, mental, and spiritual. Every facet of life is really subject to growth, so the cyclic law is invaluable for bringing all of our efforts to fruition by better understanding the seeding, testing, and fruition periods of time. The principles taught in healthy living can rebuild our physical bodies into more vital and balanced vehicles. And as the body is the vehicle for the spirit, the body energies can be elevated through healthy living habits, allowing a balanced mind to draw from these physical energies to express the spiritual potential of mind. The How to Be Mentally Free course teaches the daily physical and mental disciplines to create mental equilibrium. Being masters of our thoughts and emotions are a required step in the spiritual evolution of mind. 1 year access to these 4 online courses are included with our balanced name recommendation service for a small additional price. We encourage you to get a balanced name and to learn about the physical, mental, and spiritual laws that promote mental freedom. Whenever you're ready, here are 3 ways we can help you. Number 1, the Balanced Name Recommendation Service. Join the thousands of others who have harmonized their names with their inner potential to improve their health, happiness, and success. Number 2, learn the principles of mental freedom. Participate in our online training program to gain the essential tools to create all the progressive changes you seek in your life. These proven truths will open up new perspectives and accelerate your attainment of health, happiness, and success. Number 3, let Kalex Solutions help you choose a balanced name for your business, because many business names are an impediment to one's overall business success.